Detail. 10. Up. Up. Ready. Right.
Good morning. I'd like to welcome you all here today, first responders, town staff, community members, visitors, and distinguished guests, to our ceremony of remembrance. It's now reached the milestone of being the 20th anniversary of what has become referred to merely as 9/11. For many of us, our minds quickly return to that fateful day back in 2001, a day much like this, warm, blue skies overhead, easily remembering where we were, what we were doing, who we were with, and where we were when we first became aware of the planes crashing into the World Trade Center. Or when we heard about the planes crashing into the Pentagon or into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. We gather once again to honor the memory of those who perished on that day. Those commuting to and from work, those already working at their desks, those traveling by plane to see friends and loved ones, and the first responders rushing in with the intention of saving as many lives as possible, with ultimately 343 of them paying the supreme price and making the ultimate sacrifice. And we strive not to forget those who died shortly thereafter from the injuries sustained that day, or those construction workers and first responders who are still battling and dying from cancer and respiratory illnesses, having been exposed to the dust and debris while digging on the pile in search of victims or while recovering the bodies of loved ones. The heroism and lack of regard for self that day can be easily summed up in the attitude and the last radio transmissions of Captain Patty Brown, FDNY Truck 3, as he and his crew headed up into the North Tower. Patty was a decorated Green Beret in Vietnam who had enlisted while he was underage. Upon his return, he wanted to go from being called a baby killer to a baby saver, and therefore joined the FDNY. His last radio transmission is as follows. There's numerous civilians at all stairwells. Numerous burn injuries are coming down. I'm trying to send them down first. Apparently it's above the 75th floor. I don't know if they got there yet. Okay, 3 truck, and we're still heading up, okay? Thank you. Patty Brown's helmet and the remnants of Ladder 3 are on display at the World Trade Center Memorial Museum in New York City. And now, 10:05, time of the South Tower collapse. We will continue with the time-honored tradition of ringing of the fire bell, signal 5555, indicating that a firefighter has died and hence has responded to their last alarm.
Detail. A 10. Up. Reset. Up. Order! Order! Hook, ready, rip.
We don't have to be told, never forget. We can't forget. There are things that we cannot unsee. There are things we cannot unhear. And for those at Ground Zero on that day and the weeks and months to follow, there are things that can't be untouched, can't be unsmelled, they can't be untasted. But still, we gather intentionally to remember. We remember 2,997 lives lost, 343 firefighters, 60 law enforcement officials and officers, and one of our own citizens, Ralph Kershaw, who was aboard Flight 175 on that morning. Tragically, it is an event that keeps on killing. Scores of first responders have died as a result of diseases connected to the aftermath of 9/11. Mental health issues continue to rise. Some 2,500 members of our military, including the 13 members killed last month at Kabul airport, have died. And that's in addition to the 3,500 or so that we lost in Iraq. How do we respond in addition to remembering? There are any number of responses depending on where you were and how you became connected to that event. Recently, I was reminded of what former Secretary of Defense James Mattis said in his famous impromptu speech to the American troops in Afghanistan. He said in 2017, "You're a great example for our country right now. It's got some problems. You know it, and I know it. It's got problems that we don't have in the military. You just hold the line, my fine young soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. You just hold the line until our country gets back to understanding and respecting each other, being friendly to one another, what Americans owe to one another. The columnist David French commented that "you just hold the line" has a double meaning. Yes, it meant holding the line in the field of battle, something that American troops accomplished month by month and year by year for 20 years since 9/11. But it also meant something else. It meant to hold the line on honor, on duty, hold the line in demonstrating that America is still a nation that possesses a deep reservoir of virtue and courage. Those 343 firefighters, 60 police officers, along with thousands of their peers on that day, held the line. Passengers aboard Flight 93 held the line as they forced that airliner to crash land in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. These all held the line with honor, duty, courage, integrity, service, and sacrifice. But again, I ask, how do you and I respond? We hold the line. You may be a town official, a store clerk, a police officer, a teacher, a firefighter, a pastor, a coach, a tradesman, a realtor, an administrator, a grandparent, father, mother, son, or daughter, nurse, or truck driver. Whatever your station in life, you are needed to hold the line. Speaking at the memorial service held in the National Cathedral on September 14th of 2001, the Reverend Billy Graham said, "The lesson of this event is not only about the mystery of iniquity and evil, but second, it's a lesson about our need for each other. May it be said of us in our day and time that we too held the line with and for one another out of honor, duty, service, and yes, even sacrifice. Hold the line."
Firefighter's prayer. When I am called to duty, wherever flames may rage, give me the strength to save a life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace a little child before it is too late, and save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and to give the best in me, to guard my every neighbor and protect his property. And if according to God's will I must answer death's call, bless with your protecting hand my family, one and all.
The police officer's prayer. Lord, I ask for courage. Courage to face and conquer my own fears. Courage to take me where others will not go. I ask for strength, strength of body to protect others, and strength of spirit to lead others. I ask for dedication, dedication to do my job, to do it well. Dedication to my community to keep it safe. Give me, Lord, concerns for others who trust me, and compassion for those who need me. And please, Lord, through it all, be at my side.
Firefighter's Pledge. I promise concern for others, a willingness to help all those in need. I promise courage to face and conquer my fears. I promise strength of heart to bear whatever burdens might be placed on me. Strength of body to deliver to safety all those placed in my care. I promise the wisdom to lead, the compassion to comfort, and the love to serve unselfishly whenever I am called.
Detail, attend, hup! Present, arms! Order! Arm! Dismissed.
Thank you for coming today. That concludes our service.